Hello, this is Ridhima Shirodkar from Government College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Khandola. Today we'll be understanding psychological disorders. The paper code for the same is PSC 105. And this is another module which we are looking at, and it is called as dysthymia and conditions which are not mood disorders. Outline the clinical features of dysthymia and understanding conditions which are not unipolar depression. Learning outcomes to explain dysthymia and its criteria and to analyze certain conditions that cannot be considered to be as a major depressive disorder. So let's first look at some conditions that are not major depression. So as I told you all that in life we generally do experience some phases of sadness, some phases of lowness, which is quite common, and they also have an adaptive feature. So generally people do recover from these feelings through with the help of friends, family, social support, or by themselves. And why is it adaptive? Because sometimes when an individual recognizes that a particular goal cannot be, let's say, met, they don't waste too much time in trying to achieve that goal. So the kind of feelings of lowness stops them from trying very hard to achieve that goal, which anyway is unattainable. So goals which are unrealistic, to achieve them can be quite difficult. So lowness kind of pulls you down, which is an adaptive feature. So if you look at the whole criteria of bereavement is when an individual loses someone who is very much loved, either by death or any other way. The individual experiences something called as grief. So previously, before the DSM-5, we had the DSM-4-TR, and in that, bereavement was not taken into consideration and not considered to be major depression. However, in this DSM-5, there are a few changes which are made. Although they have not said directly that grief is a part of major depression, that is left completely to the clinician's diagnosis. They do say that, when an individual is grieving or is bereaved because of the death of a loved one, the individual might also meet the criteria for depression, and the death could be a precipitating factor over here. However, we need to kind of make a distinguishing factor of grief and major depressive episode. In grief, an individual experiences feelings of emptiness and loss. Okay, loss because they have lost a loved one. Also, there are pangs of grief which are experienced. That means, like, suddenly you have this onset, and then for some time you're fine, and then again you go back into that. So there are these periodic pangs which you experience. And the self-esteem of an individual is preserved over here. The value of the individual for themselves is what is preserved over here. In a major depressive episode, this really does not happen because the individual has feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness. So the self-esteem is not preserved, and the individual cannot anticipate happiness. The continuous feelings of lowness are there. So it is really up to the clinician and the psychologist or the psychiatrist who the individual is consulting to kind of decide whether the person is slipping into this major depression. Again, as we have seen in the previous video, that there is a 2-week period for major depression which has to be kept into consideration. It has to be taken into consideration. Apart from that, let's look at postpartum blues. Childbirth by itself is said to be a very happy moment, especially for new parents if they really wanted the baby. However, this childbirth can very often cause postpartum depression in new mothers and even in fathers. Research today suggests that postpartum blues are common, and they are more common than the actual depression. And let's look at some of its symptoms. So there are mood changes in the mother, where the mother is actually happy to kind of have this new baby, but there are mixed feelings where, at a very great extent, she sometimes wants to even kill the baby, merely because she's having these major hormonal changes. There's this feeling of sadness, and there's crying easily, mixed feelings and irritability. It can happen because hormonal fluctuations, there's a new responsibility, your sleep has become disturbed. So this is quite a normal thing for new mothers, and doctors and the gynac or the pediatrician has to keep these things into consideration. So such symptoms occur in 50 to 70% of women following childbirth within 10 days. And it is even worse when a woman lacks social support. So when she does not have enough social support, or if she's finding it very difficult to adjust to the new role of a mother, or if there has been a family history of depression, the new mother may find it quite hard to kind of deal with such kind of feelings. Similarly, if you go back and look at the father also has a completely new responsibility. There is financial burden, etc. So in both the male and the female, there can be such issues. Apart from this, we are looking at dysthemic disorder. Dysthemic disorder is not the same as the major depressive disorder. It is a mild dysthemic disorder by itself is very mild or moderate, and the hallmark of this particular disorder, the main feature is that it's chronic, it is long lived. Okay. So the individual must have a persistently low or depressed mood for most days for a period of 2 years. Okay, so this feeling of lowness is consistently there with the person, but it is not very drastic. And also people with dysthymia do have these intermittent normal mood days for a few days or few weeks. Yeah, so there are times when they're actually feeling good, but generally for 2 years or so they're having these feelings of lowness. So in the DSM-5, the dysthymia is also called as a persistent depressive disorder. So let's look at the criteria for the same. They very much overlap with major depressive episode. So depressed mood for most of the day, for more days than not, as indicated either by the person or by somebody else, for at least 2 years. Note that in children and in adolescents, the mood can be very irritable. Sometimes children are not able to actually express what they are feeling, and this can be for 1 year, not for 2 years as it is seen in adults. The presence, while depressed, of 2 or more of the following symptoms, which include poor appetite or overeating, insomnia or hypersomnia, that is lack of sleep or too much sleep, low energy or feelings of fatigue, low self-esteem, poor concentration or difficulty in making decisions, and feelings of hopelessness. So any 2 or more of any of these symptoms have to be present. Now, during the 2-year period and 1 year for children and adolescents, of this disturbance, the individual has not been without the symptoms for more than 2 months at a time. So the symptoms which we have seen previously, the individual has always had these symptoms and never been without symptoms for 2 months at a time. The criteria for major depressive disorder may be continuously present, as I told you, for 2 years or so. There has never been any manic or hypomanic episode, and criteria have never been met. So if you look at this particular disorder, that is dysthymia, and if we go back to the slides, we can basically understand that it is a 2-year period where it is not as drastic as major depressive disorder. So the major depressive disorder criteria has not been met at all by the individual, which we have already looked at. A manic episode, hypermanic episodes have not been there, and this disturbance is not explained by a persistent schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia, delusional, or any other specified disorder. The individual is not feeling these feelings because the individual is under alcohol or any other substance, or any other medical condition is not there in the particular individual. The symptoms cause clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important functions of life. So the whole criteria of dysthymia, which is a very much a particular disorder which affects people and causes them quite a bit of disturbance, is important, and it's also listed in DSM-5 as persistent depressive disorder. So the only difference is that it's not as severe as depression, one thing. The criteria, time limit is around 2 years for adults and 1 year for children and adolescents. They have to have any 2 of these symptoms, that is poor appetite or overeating. Overeating is also called as hyperphagia. There can be insomnia or hypersomnia, low energy or fatigue, low self-esteem, poor concentration, feelings of hopelessness. Okay, the individual has not been without these symptoms for more than 2 months. So even though I told you all that there are periods where the individual may have the so-called normal moods, you have to understand that these normal moods should not last for more than 2 months, because then the entire criteria gets kind of shifted. And major depressive disorder, that is MDD, has not been diagnosed in the individual. Apart from that, through this particular presentation, we have also looked at certain other factors which are not mood disorder. So it's very easy for us to say that, okay, oh, I'm so depressed today, oh, I'm so sad today. But the whole point is that we have to understand that there is a difference between just being sad and being actually depressed. So we should not use the term being depressed in a very easy and a very light way. So there are certain disorders which are not depression disorder. They are not major depression, like postpartum blues. And a major change which we see in DSM-5 is that grief, which was not included in DSM-4-TR, may be included as a depressive disorder or major depression if the criteria meets the same. Which means that it is up to the clinician to decide whether the individual is kind of slipping into this phase of depression, or will the individual finally recover from the entire bereavement process. So I hope this unit has been clear. These are the following references. The DSM-5 has been actually referred to for the criteria, and Abnormal Psychology by Bucha, Meneka and Hooley has been referred to for the remaining part of the chapter. Thank you.